the Faculty of Art, Design and Architecture, Faculty Postgraduate Processes. My name is Kogezo Bila and I will be your moderator today. Please allow me to notify you that this session is being recorded. And I would like to start off by thanking all our attendees for taking the time to join us. And most importantly, we would like to thank our presenter, Ms. Adele Merritt, for her effort in preparing and giving this presentation. So before introducing Ms. Adele to you, I would like to go over some housekeeping rules and important information. And for the housekeeping rules, if you do have questions during the presentation, please raise your hand if you would like to speak, or you can type your question in the chat box. I will then indicate to the presenter to address the question. And as I have already mentioned, the session is being recorded and the presentation slides will be requested from the presenter, and both the slides and the recording will be uploaded on our Moodle community by the end of the week. And also a feedback survey will be sent out during the session on the chat box. Please may we request that you fill the survey out for us to gain some insight on whether the workshop was useful and how we can improve in the future, and also to give some kind words to the facilitator. This is also used for the facilitator in LCD reporting, and also by filling out the survey, you will get the certificate of attendance. So without further ado, I will then introduce to you our presenter, Ms. Adele Merritt, by reading out her bio. So Ms. Merritt began her tenure as a temporary administrative assistant at the Faculty of Economic and Business Management during the Rao era in 2002, securing a permanent position soon after. She was promoted to faculty officer with the transition to UJ and advanced through various roles, eventually becoming senior faculty officer. In 2012, she moved to the Faculty of Art, Design and Architecture, where she has been working for over a decade as a senior faculty officer. With 20 years at UJ, she has developed strong administrative and problem-solving skills, focusing on innovative solutions and process improvement. She is very proficient in several software applications and systems, including MS Office, Office 365, Header, and ITS, and others. So without further ado, I will then hand over to Ms. Adele. Over to you, Ms. Adele. I will stop sharing and then you can share from your side.
Thank you very much for that introduction. Good afternoon, everybody. So obviously that introduction's kind of told you everything about me. I just quickly want to share my screen and go through this quick presentation. It's really not very long. It's actually quite simple. I just want to run through this quickly. Okay, let's see if I can get this going. Okay, so what I'll be chatting to you about is the thesis formatted submission procedure, which I know sometimes the students find a little daunting, but it really is not. So you will be asked to submit a proposal after the first 3 months of your registration, and that is something you'll work closely with your supervisor with. The proposal needs to serve at the Faculty Higher Degrees Committee. You'll see I mention FHDC. That's what it stands for, Faculty Higher Degrees Committee. It's a postgraduate committee that deals with anything postgraduate, ethics, proposals, appointments of supervisors, assessors, etc. So after your proposal's been submitted to FHDC, once that is approved, you will have ethics approval and you will be able to continue with your data gathering and research. Students then submit an intention of handing in form, which you will be able to get on the UJ website or from your supervisor. This will indicate that you are ready for submission 3 to 4 months prior. This allows also the supervisor and HOD to recommend assessors to the Faculty High Degrees Committee via the Departmental High Degrees Committee. Submission date for any dissertation or thesis is the end of October. You will then require written permission from your supervisor, and also be requested to sign a declaration or affidavit to show that you agree that there's no plagiarism and that it is your own work. I require an electronic copy of the dissertation or thesis, preferably in PDF format. I will also require a Turnitin report, which you will be able to do via your Moodle. This is submitted to me, and I then send it out to the assessors. We usually give them 5 weeks to assess for a dissertation and 6 weeks for a thesis. So after that period of time, after I've received the reports from the assessors, a committee will be allocated. There will be a consolidated report writer allocated who will then take these reports, consolidate them, and present them to the committee. The committee is there to decide should there be any issues, what the way forward would be. With a PhD, of course, there is a Viva process, which also takes place after the assessors have submitted their assessment reports. This is basically just a quick discussion. It's usually for about an hour or so. The student gets 10 minutes to present their thesis or research. The assessors are then asked to ask questions or ask for the student to clarify anything. And once that is done, obviously, the student will qualify for their qualification. What happens then is I will inform the supervisor, who will then inform the student. The student usually has a month, 4 weeks, to finalize their dissertational thesis, to make any changes to the satisfaction of the supervisor. That final document is then submitted to me with a form from the library, because the document will be uploaded to the UJ repository, as well as a confirmation and sign off from the supervisor that everything has been changed according to requests by the assessors. That's kind of it. Once I then capture the mark, after receiving the final assessment, the student will be able to download an academic record from their Moodle or from the student portal, which will indicate that they've qualified for this program. Just quickly after that, the student will be informed of the graduation. Unfortunately, we don't really have privy to the dates soon after. We usually only get that, say, a month before the actual graduation, once everything is signed off by the registrar, etc. So yeah, that's kind of it from me. Thank you, everybody. Are there any questions?
Thank you for that, Miss Adele. We're going to allow now the questions from our 2 attendees. If they have any, you can raise your hand, and then I will unmute yourself, or you can even write your question in the chat. Just to ask for the further students, Miss Adele, is it Is it a requirement that the PhD students from FADA undergoes pre-registration, and how long is it?
Pre-registration isn't required, but it is preferred. We find that the students usually use that extra 6 months allowed for pre-registration to work on their proposal and get that through easier in the first FHDC, the first one or two FHDCs. We found that sometimes the students just need some extra time, but unfortunately, if they do battle with a proposal, it encroaches on their research time, and it in the end prevents them from finishing in time. And that's kind of what we're trying to mitigate, is just so that the students don't necessarily have to ask for extra time or register for extra time, because it does have a financial implication on them. Pre-registration is basically just the registration fee, which is 1150. They have access to the library, have access to campus. The supervisors are still there available for them. It just does not infringe on their actual registration time and finances. I don't know if that
Thank you
answers your
so
question.
much. Thank you so much, Mr. Dahl, for explaining that. That really helps. Um, Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Anything else?
Am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Just to ask another question, is it possible maybe during the period of your study, can I, if maybe things come, some things come along the way, and now I had registered for a full-time PhD, and then now I want to change to master's during the course of my study, or during, the during the year, in the middle of the year, and I decided that no, I want to change from full-time to part-time, or the other way around, from part-time to now full-time. Can I do that as a PhD student?
Yes, absolutely. You would ever need to go through your supervisor, who would ask you for a motivation. They would then present that at Faculty Higher Degrees Committee, where that will be approved. Usually it's not a problem, as long as you can motivate why you need to do that. We do realize that, postgraduate students have a life, and things do happen. So it usually is it's not an issue, but changing full-time to part-time, part-time to full-time is possible. Like I mentioned, if a student also needs additional time added to their registration, they would need to motivate for that, and also need to submit a request to Faculty Higher Degree. Um, yeah, for a finding on that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for that. Are there any other questions from the attendees? Any clarity that you need regarding your studies, your master's, PhD, honors, or the postgraduate stuff?
Hi. This is not directly related to the workshop, but if a student wanted to access previous workshops or other resources, I do understand that there is a RCD MS, like RCD MS. So how would a student go about registering and accessing future workshops, or registering for future workshops?
Okay, thank you for that, Ms. Josiah. You can access the RCDMS on ULink. So when you go to ULink, let me just open ULink from my side so I can take you through the step by step. It's helpful for the students here to also know about that. Just give me a moment while I log into Moodle and take you through the process. So the moment you go to your link, you're going to use your credentials to log
Okay, so
into Moodle.
Hello,
Hello.
can you hear me? We can't see your screen.
Okay, let me try to share. Just give me a moment.
No problem. While you are finding that, if I may ask Ms. Marit a question.
Sure.
Yes, you
Thank
may
you.
go ahead.
Just I saw one of the attendees joining late, so they may have missed your presentation a little bit. But if you can maybe speak on the key contact personnel in FADA, just to reiterate to the student where to find you guys and find the information.
Sure. So the documents relevant to postgraduate students are available on the UJ website under faculties, art design and architecture, and administration. You'll see there will be a link to postgraduate documents. So anything that you require from the progress report that you need to submit biannually to the forms you need to submit when applying for extensions, change of full-time to part-time, anything like that, as well as the forms when you submit your intention, etc., etc. Alternatively, your supervisor can help you with that, or you can contact me. I am available on amaritz@uj.ac.za. I'm not sure if you guys are going to make this available to students, but I am also, you'll see you can find personnel on the UJ website. You'll find me there. And then if you want to come into the office, we are, as you come in the main door on the left-hand side, you'll see it says Faculty Administration right next to security. So that's where we are.
Thank you so much to the attendees. I know they're being a little bit quiet right now, but I think that information will definitely help them. I'll hand over back to Koketso.
Thank you, Dr. Chandra, and thanks, Ms. Maritz, for responding to the questions. As we know that the RCD recently launched the RCD-MS, which is our new management system, and for you to access that, as Ms. Josiah has asked that question, you would go to your U-Link, and then I'm not sure, can you see my screen now?
Yes?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so you would log in, so you log into Moodle with using your credentials, and once you have logged in, you go to the services tab, and then you scroll down, and then you're going to see the RCDMS, and then you're going to sign in onto the RCDMS, and then you're going to go through the registration process. Here you are going to insert all of your information, and then this is the registration page. So once you have registered, then you're going to be able to sign in onto the RCDMS, and then from there you can access all the information, upcoming workshops, and yes, attending all the workshops. You'll find all the information there. So this is the steps that you go through to access the new RCDMS. For the attendees, I hope that was helpful. Are there any other questions? And we do encourage everyone to please go and register in our RCDMS. Can you please just go through the process so that you are well informed of everything that we post and everything that goes into the RCDMS. You can also be a part of us. Please do that. And yeah, that is all from me. Do we have any other questions? If not, please can I request the two attendees to complete the feedback survey that is on the chats, and I'll post it again. And thank you so much, Ms. Adele, for honoring our invitation. And I once again apologize for the low number of attendance. And we hope that this recording will be useful to the students. We will certainly upload on our model community. And can we please ask for you to share the presentation with us so that we can also share that with the students?
Absolutely,
And
not a
thank you
problem.
very much. Thank you very much. Thank you for honoring the invitation. Thank you for coming and presenting this workshop today. And thanks also to the attendees for taking your time to join us. And yeah, thank you very much. You can have a great day further.
Thank you,
And we will
everybody.
end the
Thank
session
you.
here.
Thanks for arranging this.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.